So we've got to the stage now where on your building you're ready to start putting in your construction notes. So this is a really good tip for you on your construction notes. Now you know that we use multi-category tags, okay? So let me start off there first. We'll go up here to annotate. Here's my multi-category tags. And you can see that there are 4 multi-category tags that you're going to be using. This one has the construction description with a type mark. Okay, that's the main one you're going to use. This is the elevation description, all right? So the normal way to put a note on your elevations is not the full construction note, right? It just is literally what is the finish of the material that you've selected. So if it's glass, concrete, timber, whatever. I've got a specific multi-category tag for that. And that is connected back to the type comments in the type properties. And I'll show you that in a second. We've got a type mark only. So this is what you would use for doors and for windows and for panels and things like that. All right, so it's type mark only. And then we've got a uniclass description. All right, so if you want to include uniclass description, you can do that as well. So if I choose my type mark, okay, and I come in and I pick on an internal wall here, something like so. There's the type mark WT INT 08 timber stored with mineral wall insulation to sheets of plaster board. Now, see that spelt wrong? Note that. All right. So that is the main tag that you're going to be using here now. But how do we coordinate all of this? And that can be, when you get to a bigger project like this, that can be difficult. Here's how you do this, right? So we're coming down to our schedules down here. We're going to right click, schedule and quantities. Now we're going to do a multi-category schedule, all right? So we just leave it as that. I'm going to go OK. And the first thing you're going to put in here is the type mark. Okay, type mark. Right. The second thing you're going to put in here is the family and type. A, B, C, D, E, F. Family and type. Next thing you're going to put in here is the description. Okay. Description. And then if we have the type comments down here as well, see if we have those. Type comments. Okay, now they're the 4 things that you need, and let's go OK. Now because this is multi-category, right, it's going to populate basically everything. So we'll just pull this out a little bit here. It'll tell us what the actual unit is. Let's pull the description right out to here and the comments maybe out there, so we get the full screen in here. All right. Now you can see that this is a really long list and everything is in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to gather these up by type comments, right? So I'm coming across into the fields here, and we'll go into sorting and grouping. And if I say, right, well, sort them by the type mark, all right? Put a footer in with just the count and totals and a blank line. Now, you can uncheck every item, itemize everything, but before I do that, let's just check it and see. Okay, so none of these things at the top have a type mark in as yet. All right, we have to come all the way down here to get our basic walls. Now you can see that a lot of these walls are coming under that, and they're basically the same. Okay, well, they should be the same. So if we go back into fields in here, back into sorting grouping, and say don't itemize everything, just give me the standard for that. Now what you get is this here. So if I come down maybe to my here's the internal walls, and you remember we had this this wasn't spelled correctly, plaster board with skim finish. All right. Now, say it was that, but say I wanted to upgrade that note, right? Say I wanted to get a more specific, get a bit more detail into that note, and this is something I did before there, right? Now, all elements will change. You'll go, okay, that is absolutely fine. Right, now if I go back to my first floor plan, you'll see now that that note is updated. So what I want you to see here is the direct connection between the schedule, right, and the note that we put in here. So back to here. Now what that means is that I can go in here now and I can start to populate my notes that apply to this wall, right, and this one, and so on, all the way through. Now you can see that there's even here there's a little mix-up in just a different way of describing things. So what I'm able to do here now is if I go back in, put in, instead of underscore, put in a comma, a hyphen. That updates everything in that. And the same with this one here, look. All right. So what you're getting here is not singular control, but multi-control over those items there. Now, let's go in and have a look at some of these things that don't have the proper type mark. So here's our lift doors, all right? So they would be a DT hyphen, and I'll put in a LD for lift door 01, all right? Now, that is going to be applied. That's going to be the type mark that's applied to all of the lift doors. Here are the couple of doors that I have in the curtain walling. So these would be WT CW curtain wall 01. Okay. Now WT would be DT, wouldn't it? Door type. All right, and that is going to apply to all of those ones there. These are all the doors that I have in the project. These are all the fire resistant doors, okay? So these would be DT, door type, fire door, okay, and 01, all right, because that's a 60-minute. That's going to apply to all of those ones there. These are just standard opening doors. There's only one of those, so that's DT, door type, and that would be INT 01, all right, okay. Some louver doors that I have, okay, 20 of those louver doors, so they will be DT INT 02, okay, and it'll shout back at me and tell me that you've repeated this number, so you can see that you can get these, you can get the sequence of all of these in really well. Now I'm just going to go to down, maybe somewhere down here. And again, you can always, if you're not sure what's what, where that varies, is you can always go back and say, well, listen, I'm not quite sure what that is, so itemize everything. So here's the structural columns, all right, and or the pads maybe, and I want to put in maybe a better note for that one, which could be okay. Structural column in situ concrete. We could do that, or put in a bit of a better note in there, which could be the. I wonder should we put no, I don't think that we be able to pick up the material in this because it's not a material schedule as such. But you can put a better note in there, and I'll do it here because just to show you. Family and type description. not letting me get access to that for some reason, whereas I can get access to that one. I don't know what that's about. Oh, it's a column. Here's our pad foundation, so I'll put in my note there, which could be 20 cast in situ. Control V, cast in situ. Let's just go OK for that, and that'll fill in all of these here. And then if I come in and change cast in situ pad, all right, and it'll update. So you can see that it updates everywhere where that's associated with that one there, and like that. Now it was the type comments I wanted to draw your attention to. Yeah, so here's our curtain wall, stick walling, and so for the type comments in all of these, just make sure we're right. It's calling them a mullion, but I'm going to call them insulated. No, anodize. Anodize. Anodize aluminum to. Okay, and that'll update everywhere there. Now that's a finish note, you see, so it's not a construction note, right? The construction notes come in under the description here, but the finish note comes in under there. So if I go back to my say my south elevation here, all right, now here's my south elevation, and I'm going to go up into annotate and up into annotate multi-cat, right? And I'm going to pick the elevation description, and if I get in here tight, so mullion, it's not picking that up, but you get the idea. Here it is, look, anodized aluminium. All right, to select a color, so that'll be a finish. So if I go back now into my, say, first floor plan, where are all these? So if I pick that one, that's the internal wall. Go into the type properties here. Have a look here now. All right, so we've got our type comments, so I don't need it because I'm not going to see that on the elevation, so I don't need a type comment in there. Here's my description that I put in. So I can put it in here, right, and it'll pick it up in the schedule, or I can put it in the schedule and it'll pick it up here. So the three things are connected: the schedule, the type parameters from the plan, right, and the multi-category tag are all connected. So, which is really handy. Here's the assembly code, and here's the type mark. So if I change that, right, to that and go apply, all right, that's going to update here, and I'll go back to the schedule here. That will have updated on the schedule as well. Right, now, so that's a way of being able to organize your type marks, your construction description, your type comments. I might be able to put in the USB code here. Just I'll check that now in a second. See if we can do that. Okay, so here's my DT. There's the change I made on those, right? Okay. Wall type internal 01s, put in the description here, and you'll be able to pick that up. So the other thing that I have been doing over the last number of years as well, I've been creating an Excel spreadsheet, right? And then I'm doing something like this here, putting in the building element, which is exterior walls, interior walls, foundations, ground floor. So I've got various different fields in across here, and the actual construction note here that I've been using. So again, this is very useful in terms of, say, here's your concrete building or your steel building, right? all of those are in different tabs here, and it means that you can put in the various different notes for all of those as well as you go along. So if you have this handy, it means that when you come across a good description, right, and there's some good notes in my when you go away that now there, so I've got some visqueen notes here, some air tightness membranes, some blue black slates. As I'm going along, I might be picking up these kind of specification, construction, material notes, and rather than lose them, I now have somewhere that I'm able to put these in relation to, be it a timber house, steel building, concrete building, whatever else as well. And then what I can do here is that I can just literally pick that one, Control C, and RC cast wall, Control V, okay, and it'll populate all of those as well, like that. So because doing your construction notes are the one thing that it takes a lot of time to actually do that. But if you're in a position where you work smarter, not harder, smarter, using the tips that I've shown you here. So the connection between the type properties, those type comments, description, uniclass, and type mark, all right? So they're all attached to every single element, right? They're all here. There might be slightly different locations, but they're all there. And the schedule, and so where you can see all of these together, so that you know that you're not repeating type marks, or you're getting a consistency with your type marks the whole way through, and a consistency with your notes. And again, the fact that if you've got a spelling mistake, or you need to update a note, wherever you update it, whether it's in here, whether it's in the element properties, or whether it's in the schedule, it will update everywhere as well. And that is a huge advantage to be able to do that. So I'll just go back into the schedule here, and I want to check and see if in the fields it has so I'll be looking for kind of a code. I'm looking for the uniclass to see if we can get a uniclass in here as well. And if I go in there, pick that, let's see how it comes out here. So there is an assembly code as such, right? And then the description comes in with the code. So if I go back into the schedule here, let's see if we've got an assembly code here, ASS. Yeah, okay. Now that's come in here, and you can see that's been populated all the way through there as well. And there is a multi-category tag if you want to use assembly codes for that too. Right, so no excuse now. You're able to populate all of your items like that. And again, if you've got it done, if you've got the description out here, so again, I don't have any descriptions in for any of these as yet, but when I do, right, okay, I'm able to place these in my details, right? Oh, I'm using the wrong thing here, so let's go back up here. It's not the elevation, it's the construction description and the type mark. There you go, look. Okay. So they'll even work for your 1:10 details as well. All right, and again, the notes are coordinated all the way around. So that is just, that is just brilliant stuff to be able to do that. So right from your GAs right through to your 1:5 details, you don't have to make up notes, construction notes for all individual items. You've got them connected between the schedule, the type properties, and the multi-category tags. All right.